Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Legendary Leaders. I am your host, Katrina Jameson. I am the founder of Legend Leaders, where we arm female business leaders with the strategies they need to live life on their terms, which we call a legendary life. We are in the month of August, and as we kick off a new month, I kick off a new topic to focus on for the month, right? I work really hard to try to focus in on the same topic every month so we can really dive in and take what we know to the next level. This month, I'm focusing on finding your voice. Finding your voice. It's kind of tricky sometimes, especially in the business world, where we work diligently to try to find our voice in order to connect and share the intentions and purpose and dreams and desires of our brand and what we want to accomplish for our customers. It can be really tough. And so this entire month, I'm focusing on finding your voice, communication. Today, I'm going to talk about social media, and then overcoming any fears or doubts that we have as it relates to our voice. So I look forward to diving into this topic with you the entire month. Continue to check back, continue to listen every single Wednesday, and I will bring you all the additional topics. So as I mentioned, today we are diving into the topic of social media as it relates to finding your voice. If you've been listening to any of the previous episodes of Legendary Leaders, you will know that I have I don't want to say hate. Hate is a strong word, but you know, the phrase love-hate relationship, that's where my brain went. And so I struggle with social media. I'll be the first to tell you. And so for me, when I struggle with something, I have to ask myself why. Especially when I can sit back and say, well, Katrina, Legend has to have a social media presence. Every business today has to have a social media presence. If you don't, we all know that if we're looking for a business, one of the things that we do is we go on social media to try to find them. And if they're not there, what happens? We question if they're really a business. We question how long they've been in business. We question the validity of what they're offering, right? And so what we want to do is eliminate any of the doubts that our ideal clients could conceivably have. And so we go through this logical thought process that I just walked you through of thinking, okay, well, I know how I would feel if I couldn't find a business on social media. Therefore, I must make sure my business has a presence on social media as well. And so that's where I've gone through all these years, logically speaking, thinking about how to have a social media presence when it comes to Legend. And yet it has been a struggle for me, not just to find my voice, but to share my voice. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. I want to have that human moment because I don't want you to feel like you're all alone, because you're not. You're not the only one that struggles with finding your voice, much less finding your voice when it comes to social media. The reason that I have personally struggled is because when I think about social media, the meaning that I've given to it, right, wrong, or indifferent, is that social media is a place where people go to simply share all the amazing, wonderful, perfect things about their lives. Everything is great. There's nothing wrong. There's no problems to solve. Everything is just, unbelievably perfect. And so I'm not perfect. No way. No way am I perfect. And when I bring Legend to the forefront, you see my imperfections. And you see the imperfections that I embody, and I empower you to have your imperfections, because to me, being imperfect is just being human. And remember that perfect is the lowest standard. So I'm not trying to be perfect, but what I don't want to have happen is I don't want to say, well, she's not perfect. Listen to the way she speaks. She speaks too fast. She's too loud sometimes. She uses her hands a lot. Maybe she squints a little bit with the lights that are facing her while she's looking at the camera if I'm watching her on a video. All of these things and more happen, and what I don't want to do, and probably what you think about, is that because of your imperfections, people will judge your brand negatively. And we all want our brands to be seen in the most positive light. We want our ideal clients or our ideal customers to look at our brand, to look at our business, to look at our service or product and say, man, that's really good. That's awesome. I completely trust what they're trying to do here. I want to buy into that. And not only do we want our ideal customers to say that, but we absolutely want those individuals who may not be ideal customers or clients, but those that influence our ideal customers and clients to see us in a positive light. So they won't say anything negative about our brand and deter our ideal clients from working with us, right? There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that we think through. You are not the only one. I'm here to tell you. But what I do want to remind you of, and what I've had to work through, is that, again, perfect is the lowest standard. You don't want me to show up and be perfect because then you can't relate to me. I don't relate to people who are perfect. I know that either they're trying too hard or it's too easy, and I can never be like that because I know that I'm not perfect. And so it's hard to relate. And so that's what I want you to think about. I've had to let go of the idea of being perfect. I have to let go of the idea that people are judging whenever they see any post on social media or see a YouTube video. You may not like my shirt. You may not like my hair. You may not like my smile. It's okay. We have to get past that because the reason that I'm here is to serve. The reason that I'm here is to empower and arm you with strategies and help you move yourself forward. That's what I care about. And so when I'm focused on that, then it doesn't matter. The judgment's always going to come. That's just a part of human nature. People are always going to make it a judgment, an assessment, a decision. It's how our brains work. If we allow that to prevent us from having a voice on social media, from really putting ourselves out there, then we're not going to put the brand out there in the way in which we envision our brand. Like it or not, we're part of our brand. And I would tell you that you need to like that because your brand is something that you've developed. It's important to you and it's a part of you. So don't worry about sharing that part of you as part of your brand. No one wants perfectionism. No one can relate to that. People do want to relate to a brand, so be relatable. Go and do that. Put those pieces of yourself out there. Be you. Show up as you. And show up on social media. Don't worry about being perfect. You may have a misspelled word. You may look a little off. You may stumble a little bit. It's not ever going to be just right. But you move through it. Because why? Because you know what you're there to do. You know what your business is there to accomplish, which is to improve the lives of whomever you're there to serve. And as long as you do that, just like we talked about when we're selling, it's the same exact theory. If you do that, if you show up with that mindset of, I am here to serve. I'm not going to be perfect because it's the lowest standard. I'm not going to be perfect because I'm not perfect. I'm just going to give. And when you do that, people will connect with you. They'll connect with your brand. And you will be able to move your business forward. That's how you find your voice. Change your perspective and your view of social media because it's just a tool. It's nothing more than that. It's a tool, and you're going to use it to connect with those you serve, and you're going to share your voice because it's a part of who you are, and people want that. And that is who you want to work with and support, are those people who want to connect with your brand in the way that you've designed it. It's that simple. So that's your challenge today. If you have a mindset block about social media, let it go. Remember what standard of perfect it is. Perfect is the lowest standard. Don't strive for perfect. That's way too low. You're better than that. Go and serve. Find your voice. Put it out there and move your business forward. As always, go and be legendary.